Hey guys, it's Kamora Davis,
And it's Sterling Atkins Dutro.
and today we're back with another Handle with Care podcast with Damarvis Dixon, the head freshman coach at Peoria High School.
Hi, I'm Coach Dixon, Damarvis Dixon, freshman head coach at Peoria High, also associate head coach at Peoria High for football. And I am the president of Generational Mentoring Alliance.
Without further ado, we'll go into the first couple questions. What motivates you to go above and beyond for students?
Well, they come from what you call a broken trust system. So we have to build the trust. I have to listen and build relationships. And when I see the things that I see, I want to prepare them for life. Where we live is very poverty stricken, and we have to break that generational curse of my dad didn't go to college, my mom didn't go to college, but I want to go to college.
How do you build those relationships?
I have to be a great listener. I'm not only a football coach, I'm a life coach. I have to be consistent because they're looking for consistency. And if you're not consistent, that's the first thing they pick your brain on is like, okay, you told me you was going to be here at 9 o'clock, and then you text me at 9 o'clock and said you weren't coming. Then I have to rebuild all that over. And my mom always tell me action speaks louder than words. And I love my job. I don't just want to impact athletes. I want to impact kids walking down the hallway. I've had 2 players die to gun violence. I had a player lose his life to cancer. I had a player that was a great athlete, now he's in a wheelchair. And that player also lost his mom. I had to take sports out of it and say, what do we got to do to keep him going with life?
What's the biggest thing you want your students to take away from you as a coach and a support staff?
I think the biggest key is consistency, routine. I think that that's a big key of everyday life. If you could follow your routine and stay consistent with it, there's nothing impossible to do.
Exactly.
Motivation is the key. If a kid comes from trauma, some people use it as that trauma they went through help them be a better person because I don't want to relive that. Mm-hmm. I want to go away from that. And some people go towards that.
You mentioned how you are a supporter for other students, but when you were younger, who was your biggest supporter when growing up?
Absolutely my mom and dad. Like, I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't watch my dad go to work every day. I made sure that my dad made sure that we had core values of you pay bills. If you don't pay bills, your lights don't come on. My mom said, if you set out to do it, do it. Don't do it for a show.
From your perspective, how have you changed from when you were a kid to how you are now?
In my time, we didn't have electronics. We didn't have the internet. We had more core values. You know what I mean? Like, you come home from school, you do your schoolwork, then you go outside and play. Missing school is like missing work. Now it's just easy to say, I ain't going to school today. My mom got her income tax. I ain't going to school today. I never even knew until I was an adult what income tax was. My mom and dad didn't just put that out there. We didn't go through COVID. When COVID hit, none of us was ready for it. And it set everything back. If we look at it, we're still dealing with the effect of COVID.
So I'm looking at a statistic. Kids with multiple ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, have a 53% less likelihood of mental health issues, specifically suicidality, if they have a trusted adult or in their life, they play a sport in their life. Do you realize how impactful you are as a coach?
I'm always thinking about what I can do to be better, what I need to do to be better as a person first, a husband second, a dad third, and a coach and a son, and all of those things after that.
What are some of the things you see your athletes or students struggling with?
Life. It's hard to be an athlete. It's hard to be number one student in the school. It's peer pressure. And a lot of people don't understand the different things of mental health, right? Mm-hmm. You see your mom getting beat. That's part of mental health. I lost friends to jail or to the streets. I see them go through that type of stuff. I'm glad you guys asked that because a lot of people don't think mental health is real. A lot of people think mental health is not real. It's real. And people live it every day. We just sometimes want to sweep it under the rug. If I see a kid sitting in the hallway alone, I'm going to ask them, hey, man, you all right?
Yeah.
Or a girl, hey, you all right? I think about kids every weekend. When they go home from school on a Friday, do they have anything to eat? Do they have water?
Can you recall or provide a time when you provided support for a student?
Yeah. I'm also the coordinator for the Lights On program here. That's actually one of my favorite programs. My GMA program is in here Tuesdays for lunches. When it was real cold out and we had all those days, a kid inboxed me on Facebook. He said, Coach Dixon, I got your information from my friend. He said, I'm struggling. I'm about to go kick my neighbor's door in because me and my sister don't have groceries. I made some calls, and this kid now have a job. Groceries was put in his house. Made sure all of those things happened because if I just blow this kid off, what happens? One of my players got killed, and I struggled as a coach. Then not even 6 months later, one of my players was paralyzed. They thought he was going to die. And I told Coach McGurmy, who's the head coach, we sitting in the parking lot at the hospital, and we both looked at each other. And I said, man, if this person don't make it, I'm going to call tomorrow and I'm out because I just couldn't deal with pressure. That I felt like I was failing my kids because I'm losing my kids to the streets. I can't save them, and they right in front of me. I got over 100 wins. I went to 2 state championship games. But that first Wednesday in February, when I get to watch kids sign intent letters to go to college, that's huge for me because now I made an impact. I made an impact on a kid's life. If you can go to school for free, I made an impact. And those are my goals right there, to say I've gotten over 200 kids to college, the military, trade school. They left.
How do you cope with all that stress?
Stress kills you. If I have too much stress, I have to take time away from stress. Have fun, win the day, and be better than yesterday.
How can other adults get involved to help students?
I hope you guys don't take this the wrong way, but they got to want it. They got to want it, and they got to put themselves in the student's eyes. Revert back to you being 18 years old. If you putting a kid down, you're not winning because they don't trust. You're going to yell at me because I ain't got a pencil, and I had to give the last piece of food to my little siblings so they can eat, and I ain't ate all night.
Exactly.
I don't got no water to take a shower, but you yelling at me about a pencil? Like, that's just, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, I think it's important for everyone to look at situations through like a trauma-informed lens, and because they don't know what's going on at home
At all.
So it's like what you're putting on them could just add on to that stress and
Absolutely.
whatever's going on.
Absolutely. I tell my players I love them every day, 2 or 3 times a day. And then I got people that motivate me, like Principal McGinnis. I wouldn't be where I'm at in a coaching field.
You have anything you want us to add?
I think this is awesome that you guys are doing this. You guys are willing to do this. You guys also need, ask your educators that, because sometimes they feel unwanted and they need a lift sometimes because they might be going through stuff. I think that we all need to get behind and push this mental health situation because we are all, as a whole, district-wide.
Well, thank you for that.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Handle with Care podcast. We hope this episode gave you a better understanding of what students and staff may be going through and ways to support them. Remember, you never know what the person next to you is going through. If this episode resonated with you and you need resources but are not quite sure where to find them, they are located on the same page as the podcast.